Lesson 4.2 is on writing equations in slope-intercept form. In this video, you will learn to write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form, given a slope and 1 point, and you'll also learn to write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form, given 2 points. So, vocabulary for this section is linear extrapolation. Okay, so writing an equation of a line given the slope and a point. Okay, so whenever we're trying to write the equation of a line, there's two things that we need. We need, first thing, the slope, and the second thing is the y-intercept. So once you have those two things, you can write the equation in y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so given this, step one is to find the slope. This one's easy because they told us what it is. The slope is 1/2. So we've got that. Step B is to find the y-intercept. In order to find the y-intercept given a slope and 1 point, we're going to use the equation y equals mx plus b to solve for b. So I have m, right? Slope is m. So that's m. And then this is an x and a y. X comma y, right? So my x is 2 and my y is -3. So I can put those three things into this equation, so the only variable I have left is b. So -3, we said was y, 1/2 is m, 2 is x, and we're trying to find b. So 1/2 times 2 is 1. So -3 equals 1 plus b. To get b by itself, you're going to subtract 1, and you get b equals -4. So that's step one. We got b here we found is -4. So step 3 is just to take those two things and put them into the equation. I'm no longer using this point. Don't mix it up. So we're just using the slope and the intercept for part 3. So I'm leaving it as y. I'm not putting in any value for y. I'm putting in 1/2 for m, oops, and I'm leaving x as x. So it's going to be 1/2 x plus b, so plus a -4 is the same thing as -4. And that is going to be the equation of my line in slope-intercept form, given the point and the slope. Okay, if we're given 2 points, we're still doing the same thing. We still want to find the slope. We still want to find the y-intercept. And then we still want to put them into y equals mx plus b. So step 1, to find the slope. We know how to find the slope of 2 points. We did that in the previous section or chapter. So remember, slope m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if this is x1, y1, x2, y2, my slope is going to be -8 minus a -4 over -2 minus -3. So 8 plus -8 plus 4 is going to be -4. And -2 plus 3 is going to be 1. So my slope is -4. Okay, so we got part 1. Part 2 is to find the y-intercept. So we're doing the same thing we did in the last time, except we're just going to pick one of the 2 points. So I'm going to say we're going to use this one. You can choose either one and you'll still get the same value for b. So I'm using that point and the m and plugging it into y equals mx plus b. So this is my x, and this is my y, and my m. So y is -4, m is also -4, x is -3, and I'm solving for b. So -4 equals 12 plus b, minus 12 to both sides, and I get b equals -16. Okay, so now I have b and m. So my last step is just to use those two things. I don't need the points anymore. Once I have m and b, those are the only things I'm putting into my new equation. So my equation, y equals -4x minus 16. And that is your final answer. So you just find the slope, the intercept, and plug them in. Okay, So same thing here. First thing we want to do is find the slope. So to find the slope, I'm doing m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 4 minus y1 is -2. x2 is 3 minus x1 is 6. So I get 4 plus 2 is 6. And 3 minus 6 is -3. So I get -2 as my m. Step 2 is to find the y-intercept. And to do that, I'm using y equals mx plus b. I can choose either point. I'm going to use this one just for fun. So 4 for y, because y is 4. M, we just said was -2. X is 3. And I'm trying to find b. So 4 equals -6 plus b. I add 6 to both sides, and I get 10 equals b. So once I have m and b, those are the only things I'm using to find my equation. I'm using y equals mx plus b again, and plugging in those two things. Y equals -2x plus 10. And that is your final answer. Oops. Anyway. Okay. So we can use this in real world kind of problems too. So during 1 year, Malik's cost for self-serve regular gasoline was $3.20 on the 1st of June and $3.42 on the 1st of July. Write a linear equation to predict Malik's cost of gasoline on the 1st of any month during the year, using 1 to represent January. Okay, so we still want to do the same things. We want to do the slope. Oops. Okay, so first thing, what's going on? Sorry. Okay, we still want to find the slope. So if you remember, slope is the same thing as rate of change. Okay, so we want to know how much it's going up per month. So we're going to do 342 minus 320, and it changed by a month from June 1st to July 1st. That's 1 month. Okay, so if we wanted to think about it, June is the July was the 7th month minus the 6th month, you still get 1. So it's going to be 0.22 over 1. So that means the slope or rate of change is 0.22. And we still want to find the y-intercept. So we're going to use y equals mx plus b and then put in one of our points. So I can use the price in June or the price in July. I'm going to use this one here. Okay, so that means I can treat that like the point 342, right? So the 7th month, the price was 342. Okay, so plugging in those two things, I put in 342 for y. M, I just said, is 0.22, and my x is going to be 7, and I'm trying to find my b. So simplifying that, 7 times 0.22. 7 times 0.22 is 154 equals 342 plus b. So then I'm going to subtract 154 from both sides to get b. And when I do that, I get 188. So our equation, that was step 1 and 2. We found our m and our b. Our final step is to write the equation. So our equation, y equals mx plus b, is going to be y equals 0.22 x plus 188. Okay, and that's it for that one. Example 4, it says on average, Malik uses 25 gallons of gasoline per month. He budgeted $100 for gasoline in October. Use the prediction equation from example 3 to determine if Malik will have enough to add to his budget. So our equation that we got was y equals 0.22x plus 188. Okay, so if he uses an average of 25 gallons per month, x represented the number of gallons. So we're going to do 0.22 times 25 plus 188. And we want to see if he has enough. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. He uses 25 gallons gasoline per month. He budgeted $100 of gasoline in October. Okay. Okay, October is the 10th month. X represented the month. So this is going to tell me the price per gallon. So I'm going to do, so 10 times 20.22 is 2.2 plus 188. When I add those two things, I get the price per gallon is going to be 408. So if he has, it's $408 per gallon, and he gets 25 gallons, I'm going to do 408 times 25. So 408 times 25. It is 102. So he does not have enough. He just went a little bit over. Okay, so he would have spent $102, but he budgeted for $100. Okay, that's the end of the section.